Walk into any bakery today and you'll smell the same thing Romans smelled 2,000 years ago: warm crust, wood smoke, fresh flour. But behind that smell was one of the most brutal, most surprising professions in the ancient world, a trade that could make an enslaved man one of the richest self-made citizens in Rome, and in the very same industry, grind another man to death and never even record his name. This is the entire life of a Roman baker, and by the end, you'll have to ask yourself, could you have survived it? For 600 years after Rome's founding, there was no such thing as a professional baker. Bread was baked at home, by wives, by household slaves, nothing more. Then, in 171 BC, everything changes. Rome crushes Macedonia in the Third Macedonian War, and Greek bakers flood into the city, bringing something the Romans don't fully have yet: real leavening technique, real ovens, real skill. Within a generation, baking becomes an industry. By the height of the empire, Rome has 254 licensed bakeries and 290 granaries and warehouses, all monitored by the state. In Pompeii alone, archaeologists have uncovered more than 30 separate commercial bakeries. Across the empire, over 250 have been documented in Rome itself. Bread isn't a side dish anymore, it's infrastructure. Your day starts in the dark. Long before sunrise, you're already awake because Rome needs bread by morning and there's no time to lose. First, the grain has to be ground. Donkeys or mules, sometimes enslaved workers, walk in endless circles, turning heavy stone mills hour after hour. In wealthier bakeries, machines take over. In the bakery of Papitius Priscus in Pompeii, archaeologists found an industrial-scale kneading machine, dough wound around a horizontal shaft and pressed between wooden slats. Only the final shaping and stamping is done by hand. The dough moves to the oven room. Fires are stoked with vine wood, vented through built-in flues to keep the smoke from choking the workers. Each loaf goes in on a long wooden paddle, baking for roughly half an hour. The demand is relentless. At Modestus's bakery in Pompeii, archaeologists found around 80 loaves still sitting in the oven, abandoned the instant Vesuvius erupted. Many bakeries even have a separate street-facing entrance built purely for deliveries. Rome doesn't just want bread, Rome wants it delivered. Here's what makes baking different from almost every other trade in Rome. It's political. The city imports every grain of wheat it eats, feeding a population that reaches roughly 1 million people by the 2nd century AD. To keep that population from starving and from rioting, the state runs a program called the Cura Annone, free or subsidized grain and later free bread, distributed to roughly 200,000 adult male citizens. This is the literal birthplace of the phrase bread and circuses. Keep people fed, keep people entertained. Keep the peace. When the bread stops, the riots start. To manage all of this, bakers are organized into the Collegium Pistorum, an official guild placed under a state-appointed grain prefect. And because bread means survival, bakers gain real influence. There's an old Roman saying, "A trustworthy man gives good bread." Bakers who controlled the ovens often ran for local office themselves. There's even a festival day just for them. Every June 9th, Rome honors Fornax, goddess of the oven, and bakers are formally recognized as citizens vital to the welfare of the nation. Now meet the man who proves just how far this trade could take you. His name is Marcus Virgilius Euryces. Most historians believe he was once enslaved. His name fuses a Roman family name with a Greek nickname, a dead giveaway for a freed slave in Roman naming custom. By the end of his life, sometime around 30 BC, Euryces is wealthy enough to build one of the strangest, boldest tombs in all of Rome. It stands at the busy junction of 2 major roads leading into the city, so that every single traveler entering Rome has to pass it. The tomb is shaped like industrial baking equipment. Its friezes, carved in stone, show the entire bread-making process from start to finish: grain delivery, milling, kneading, baking, weighing. And its inscription doesn't hide his profession, it broadcasts it. This is the monument of Marcus Virgilius Euryces, baker, contractor.
Some historians translate the final word as simply, "it's obvious." Even his wife Atistia gets her tribute. Her epitaph says her remains rest inside a container shaped like a breadbasket. Euryces represents the dream, a former slave who used flour and fire to buy his way into permanent stone-carved immortality, standing right where Rome's oldest families couldn't avoid it. But for every Euryces, there's a story like this one. In the 2nd century AD, the writer Apuleius publishes a novel called The Golden Ass. Its narrator, cursed and transformed into a donkey, is sold to a miller and put to work turning the grindstone. What he describes isn't fiction dressed up for shock value. It's close enough to daily bakery life to serve as one of our best surviving windows into it. The enslaved workers circle the millstone in endless shifts. Their skin is scarred from whippings, their bodies covered head to toe in a strange white film, dirt mixed with ground flour, so thick they barely look human anymore. The animals fare no better. Constant beatings have stripped the flesh from their ribs, and their hooves have flattened from years of walking the same endless circle. This was Rome too, where approximately 1 in 3 people in Italy lived as slaves, with the same industry that built a freedman a marble monument also worked others blindfolded and starving until their bodies gave out. Eventually, even freedom couldn't save you from the ovens. By the late 4th century, Rome's food supply had become so essential to imperial survival that emperors passed laws binding bakers to the trade permanently. A law from Emperor Valentinian in 370 AD describes bakers being formally assigned to the profession and sent to Rome on a rotating 5-year cycle, bound to the guild almost like a hereditary sentence. Even the right to free bread became something you inherited, not something you earned. By the early 3rd century, the tickets granting a citizen free grain themselves became hereditary property, passed down or even sold like a family heirloom made of survival itself. So, could you have made it as a Roman baker? If you were free, skilled, and ambitious, maybe you'd end up like Euryces, turning flour into freedom, freedom into fortune, and fortune into a tomb Rome could never ignore. But if you were enslaved and sent to the mill, your name would vanish completely. No tomb, no inscription, just flour dust settling into the scars on your back. Bread built Rome. It fed its people, funded its politics, and made emperors think twice before letting the ovens run cold. But it built that empire on the backs of people history never bothered to name. If you enjoyed this journey into the life behind Rome's daily bread, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into the forgotten trades that built the ancient world. And let me know in the comments which profession you want to see next. As always, we'll see you in the past.